27 games since opening tip back in November, and it all comes down to this. Throw out the records for this one as the Lane Tech champions look for an upset win at home in the regional semifinals. But in their way, a mighty Riverside-Brookfield Bulldogs team. The first time these two teams have played in 9 years, with the Bulldogs taking the prior matchup back in the 2014 Jack Top Holiday Tournament. But this one, the state playoffs, it just means a little bit more. The 7th-seeded Bulldogs ride into tonight, winning 15 of their last 16 contests. The lone blemish, a loss to a ranked Lyons Township team. As for the 11th-seeded Lane Tech champions, about as bumpy of a road as possible to this point for Lane, but hopes are high after 5 straight wins to close off the regular season, including a big win over Von Steuben 7 days ago from tonight. It's a rainy night in Chicago to see who gets the honor of a matchup with 2nd-seeded Hinsdale Central, one of the top teams in the state, for a regional title. 48 hours from now, the other team, their season is over. It's the IHSA State Playoffs live here on the Lane Tech Athletics YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us. My name's Alex Bursing above midcourt here at Lane Gymnasium. A nervous energy cuts through the gym here at Lane Tech as Lane hopes a season which has been filled with highs and lows has just a little bit of life left in it here as Lane Tech starts off their state tournament journey, hoping to get back to a regional final for the first time since 2020. But in their way, it is going to be a tall task to compete with the big three that this Riverside-Brookfield Bulldogs team has. That's going to be the junior point guard number 1, Will Gonzalez, the senior guard number 10, Arias Ali-Josias, and finally the 6'11 junior center, the big name on this team, number 14, Stefan Sisic. All three of those guys, very different players. You have Gonzalez, he's the junior. He's had a big second half of the season. He's the playmaker. He runs the point for this squad. He's a very impressive guy who will be even better next year, but he's the playmaker for this squad. Then you move over to number 10, Ali Josias. He's listed as a guard, really knows how to shoot the rock. He set the school record in their last game of the regular season for an overall number of three-pointers in a regular season, in a season in school history. 104 times he has hit from beyond the arc this year. That's a school record for the Bulldogs, so he really knows how to shoot. And finally, as we mentioned, number 14, Sisic, 6'11". He's a transfer from Notre Dame. Lane Tech took on Notre Dame last year in the first week of the season. Sisic was injured, so a lot of these players have not seen him play in a game, but he is a dangerous player, and head coach Mike Reingruber said he has just shown so much improvement since transferring over the Riverside-Brookfield, and the ceiling's kind of the limit for him. The sky's the limit for him. He already has 2 Division I offers, San Diego as well as Georgia Tech, and he is just a player that has grown so much the last couple of months, and it will be interesting to see how Lane Tech deals with that. With that, we will move into our keys to the game. First for Riverside-Brookfield, and we talked with head coach Mike Reingruber before the game, and he kind of laid out the keys, so we're just going to read what he said. He said we need to make sure we are locked in defensively. Our ball screen and flare screen defense needs to be great, and we need to finish every play with a rebound, not giving up second chance opportunities. Could not have said it better myself. This is a Lane Tech team that can shoot sometimes, they can score sometimes, but when they are playing a good defense, sometimes we've seen some scoring droughts. If Riverside-Brookfield can really lock down defensively in tonight's game, that's going to be really big for them, limiting those second chance opportunities. That is how we could potentially see a quick night and a quick win for the Bulldogs here on this Wednesday night. As for Lane Tech, we're going to not do a key to the game. We're going to do a player to watch, and that's going to be number 35, Dalton Scantlebury. I know Shahid Saliba has been lighting up the scoreboard as of recently. Obviously, he's going to be a very big part of this squad, but Scantlebury's the big, and we've talked about this is the Bulldogs team that has a big themselves, the 6'11 Sisic. The last time Scantlebury had to go up with someone this height was against Kenwood with 6'11 Jaden Smith. Scantlebury did not have a super big game that night, and I think he's going to have to kind of adjust his gameplay here tonight. Draw Sisic, who's not a super fast player. He has that size, but not super fast. Draw him out on offense, and if Scantlebury is hitting his shots, we know he worked on that in practice this last week. That is how he is going to be able to possibly be the difference maker for the champions here on this Wednesday night in the IHSA 4A Hinsdale Central Sectional, which is by far are one of, if not the top sectional in the entire state. Throw out the classes, literally any single matchup you're going to find in this Hinsdale Central sectional is going to be pretty good. We already saw a good game earlier tonight here at Lane Tech. It was Hinsdale Central versus Proviso West. Ended up being a 20-point victory for Hinsdale. They are the number 2 seed in this sectional, but the first half, it was only a 6-point game heading into the half, 19-13. So even some of the lower seeds in this sectional can compete. Riverside-Brookfield, a 7 seed, and pretty much any other sectional, they are going to be higher than a 7 seed, but you have 6 teams above them that have proved that they are really good teams as well. So this is just a loaded sectional. This is one of 4 games tipping off at 7:30, closer to 7:45, but 4 games slotted for 7:30 in this window. The other 3 being Lincoln Park at OPRF, and what should be a good one, Proviso East taking on Morden at Downers Grove North, and Jones traveling to Lyons looking for an upset over Lyons Township. We had 4 games go on in the 6 o'clock window. We've got finals from 2 of those. Whitney Young defeated Argo 84-60. Hinsdale Central defeated Proviso West 56-36, and we are still waiting for finals from Downers Grove North versus Downers Grove South. A big rivalry matchup in the first round of state, and then also Curie taking on Layden. That was a big surprise. I saw the halftime score. Layden had a multiple possession lead at half. I don't know if Curie turns it around in the second half, but that has the chance to be a big upset. We'll be trying to find some scores for that throughout this broadcast, but for now we only have 2 finals, and we are looking to see who will be joining Hinsdale Central in the IHSA for a regional final here from Lane Tech on Friday night. Lane Tech, as we mentioned, comes into tonight riding a 5-game win streak, much in part to their 5 starters here tonight, who we will run through right now. It's a pretty normal looking starting 5. They've dealt with some injuries, some sickness the last couple weeks. Everyone is healthy for tonight's game. I think we only have 2 scratches. That's going to be Jack Davis, and it looks like Eris Mulosmani also is going to be a scratch for tonight's game, but all the usual players are healthy for tonight's matchup. The starting 5 going to be Shahid Solibo, the 6'4" junior shooting guard, coming off a 19-point performance against Von Steuben. Just got nominated as a possible All-City player for this year. He's been very impressive for the champions, so he's going to be one of the starters alongside number 10, Jack Soar, the senior 6'3" point guard, who is another really good player on this Lane Tech squad. Provides some really good defense for this Lane Tech team, and that's going to be big. This is a Riverside-Brookfield team that really can score the basketball, so if they are able to defend large in part to players like Sir, that's going to be big. And then the remaining starting 5, Parker Williams, the 6'2" junior guard. He returned after 4 games missed to injury on last Wednesday against Vaughn. Had decent performance. He'll look to follow that up here tonight. Number 24, Jackson Labcon, the 6'2" junior guard. He had a big-time shooting game a couple of weeks ago. He's had a bunch of good shooting games this year. I saw him pre-game taking a lot of 3-point shots in his warm-up. His 3 ball is going to be very important for the champions. And finally, number 35, Dalton Scantlebury, the big man. We already talked about him. He's the X factor in tonight's game, in our opinion, and he gets the start for the champions. Running through the Bulldogs starting lineup, we talked about 3 of them already. Will Gonzalez, Arias Ali Josias, and Stefan Sisic are all basically the 3 players who make or break this squad. They all get the start. And then the 2 other starters, a pair of seniors, 6-foot guard, number 21, Hunter Ferguson, and 6'3" wing senior Marquise Turner, number 35. Ryan Gruber said both those have had a couple of games this year where they have really stepped up and had some big plays. We'll see if they can do that again here tonight. About 40 seconds to go until we are ready for about 40 seconds to go until we are ready for the national anthem and starting lineups here at Lane Gymnasium, and then we are in for what should be a fun matchup between the Bulldogs and the champions. As we mentioned in our opening, these 2 teams have not played against each other since back in 2014, so they're not super familiar with how each other play, all of that stuff. We'll see how quick and which team can adjust better to the other's gameplay, and that could be the difference maker in tonight's 7 versus 11 matchup. Both the teams still at their benches. I think we're going to have the national anthem here in a second, so we're going to turn it to the PA announcer and be back in just a second. You're listening to Lane Tech Boys Basketball here on the Lane Tech Athletics YouTube channel. And there you have it, a beautiful national anthem sang by Lane student Logan Kane. And with that, is just about time for tip-off here at Lane Gymnasium. Regional semifinal action, a home regional for Lane Tech this year. Always exciting when that happens, and we will see if they can get an upset and defend their home court here on a rainy Wednesday night in Chicago. Very not nice weather outside, but beautiful conditions inside here at Lane Gymnasium. They're running through the starting lineups on the court. We'll get you those one more time. It'll be Solibo, Jack Soar, Parker Williams, Jackson Labcon, and Dalton Scantlebury tonight for the champions, coached by head coach Nicholas Legalbo, who is looking for his first regional. He's been here a long time as a coach. He played here as a player, never has a regional title to his name. He's hoping to get that this season. As for the Riverside-Brookfield Bulldogs, they are going to be on the court tonight with number 1, William Gonzalez, number 10, Arias Ali Josias, number 14, Stefan Sisic, number 21, Hunter Ferguson, and number 35, Marquise Turner. They are coached by Mike Reingruber, who has had a very, very impressive tenure, 6th season as head coach of this Bulldogs team, 128-40 record. He has not lost a lot with this Bulldogs team, and he's looking to keep that going here tonight against this Lane Tech squad. 8 minutes on the clock. The starters are on the court for both of these teams, and we are going to have a fun 32 minutes of basketball here from Lane Gymnasium. It's going to be Lane Tech in their home green jerseys, in their away green jerseys, as they are technically the away team for tonight's matchup, as they are the lower seed. So they're going to be in their road greens outlined in gold lettering. As for the Bulldogs, they're in their home whites outlined in blue and blue numbers for tonight's matchup. It'll be Scantlebury and Sisic in the circle. We don't see Scantlebury, the shorter player, in the tip-off a lot this season. He's going to have 5 inches separating him and Sisic, with Sisic on the taller end of things. As the ref is at center court, ball is up and we are underway. Sisic tips it away to Ferguson, and we are underway here from Lane Gymnasium. They're going to get it to Gonzalez, who holds it near the logo here to start things off at Lane Gymnasium. Gets it left side to Ferguson with a chest pass. Labcon guarding him, top the key. They swing it. Now 3 on it and miss. Just out for Marquise Turner, bringing down the rebound, Scantlebury. Lane did not expect a lot of shots from Turner. However, he is the first shot taker of the game for the Bulldogs, as Scantlebury brings it across midcourt, gets it right side to Solibo. Screen to his left, gets back to Scantlebury on the right-hand side. He's going to take it from outside, gets trapped up by Sisic. Stolen away here on the pass. Ferguson taking it left-hand side. Layup, misses it. 0 for 2 shots here early on from the Bulldogs. They pass it out for a 3. Another missed shot, this from Ali Josias. And 0 for 3 shooting to start off the day for the Bulldogs, as Labcon gets a pass from Solibo across midcourt. 7 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Labcon bounce pass, hands it back off to Labcon. Now to Solibo. Right wing 3 on its way and cannot get the bounce. Bringing down the rebound will be Ali Josias, who carries it across the timeline. 6:45 to go in the first. Gonzalez resets the offense. They get it far side to Turner. Right wing, they leave him wide open, and he misses the 3. So Lane Tech's not going to play super tight defense, it looks like, here on Turner, as Solibo leisurely brings the ball up the court and brings it across midcourt with a pass to Scantlebury. Right side, they get to Labcon. Now they'll swing it around the perimeter. Williams gets his first touch of the day. Cutting, Solibo loses the basketball on a pass at the free throw line. They're going to push it ahead to Ali Josias, but intercepting the pass is Jack Soar. No score, minute 45 into the first quarter here from Lane Tech. Lane's actually controlled the tempo, as Parker Williams takes it right side with the layup, and he will miss his first shot of the night. So we've seen 0 for 2 shooting, 0 for 3 shooting for the Bulldogs. So the two teams are combined 0 for 5 off the gate, as Gonzalez pulls for 3 from the left wing, gets it to fall, and he will break that no scoring streak with a crowd silencing 3, and the Bulldogs are up here 3-0 early on. Steele on the inbound pass. They pass it to Ferguson, who goes up for 2, and just like that, it's a 5-point game. They're going to back off the full court press. Labcon gives it to Scantlebury. They've had Scantlebury play from outside the perimeter. Hand off to Solibo. He hands it off to Williams. Left wing 3 off the mark. And now the Bulldogs looking for their third straight basket. Gonzalez will roll to his left-hand side, hands it off to Ferguson. Now they hand it right back to Gonzalez, getting guarded by Labcon off the switch. And a travel is going to be called on Gonzalez with 5:11 to play here in the first quarter. We've seen no fouls called. It was also a pretty low foul called game in the first semifinal, so it'll be interesting to see if that is going to be the trend that continues here in semifinal number 2 tonight from Lane Gymnasium. Labcon being guarded by Ferguson, takes it across midcourt on the far left-hand side. He gets trapped up. Some aggressive defense here from Ferguson. They'll go to the left block to Scantlebury, almost losing it to Williams on the cross-court pass, and they'll reset the offense. Front court right to Labcon. He gets a screen from Scantlebury. Going to take it himself left-hand side. Quick take to the basket, finishes with the 2. Jackson Labcon gets the offense going for the champions. 5-2, 4:40 to play here in the first quarter. Will Gonzalez coming in at 6'5", a big guard, takes it straight to the basket, hands off down low to Sisic, and Shahid Saliba was a little too quick there trying to block, and Stefan Sisic gets his first 2 of the night. 5-point lead once again for the Bulldogs. Hand off to Labcon, long 3, just misses it off the front rim. Bringing down the rebound is Turner, and it'll be Ali Josias, who's had a quiet night bringing it up the court. Spin move, Jack Soar down low. He tried to pass it to Turner, and this one goes off the hands of Sisic, they'll say. Riverside-Brookfield head coach Mike Reingrumer not agreeing with that call there from the referees, but it will be champions possession as Jackson Labcon will bring it across the court. Throws it to Scantlebury. He's played top the keys, kept Sisic away from down low most of the time, which has been good for the champions. Inside, cutting pass to Solibo, count the basket, and one. Shahid Solibo on the left-handed layup, and he has a chance to cut this to a 2-point game if he can convert the free throw. He's been an up and down free throw shooter this season. Lane Sack today has just been very big on those handoffs. They expected a lot of defense off the screens from this Riverside-Brookfield team, and they've been able to work around it with these handoffs. See the Proviso West team walk up here to where we're broadcasting. Both some of the players from Proviso West and Hinsdale Central still here to watch this second semifinal of action. As you mentioned, it was a 56-36 first semifinal victory for Hinsdale Central as Solibo hits the free throw and gets it to a 2-point game. Ali Josias will inbound it from the baseline, gives it to Gonzalez. Length of the court to go here for the Bulldogs. 3:50 to go. We have not seen the clock stop a lot. That was actually the first foul of the game. They hand it off to Ferguson. He angles towards the center, now gives it back to Gonzalez near the logo. Gonzalez tries to work right-hand side. Solibo poking it away. Now spin move to the other side. Gets inside the paint, steps back, 10-foot jumper hit from Gonzalez. That's his second basket of the night. 5 points now for the junior, and the lead back up to 4, 9-5. The last loss we saw for the Bulldogs had an 8-0 lead early on against Lions. Solibo thinks about the 3, now cuts it to Jack Soar, who's on the scoreboard. Jack Soar's not been a big scorer this year, but he had the quick layup there open from Solibo, and he hits it. 9-7 your score, 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. Gonzalez gets it left-hand side to Ferguson. Ferguson's played almost exclusively beyond the perimeter. Now Ali Josias looks to drive the baseline, reverse layup, gets it to go. He's known for his 3-point shooting, but gets his first points of the night off of a reverse layup, and the lead back up to 4 here for the Bulldogs. It's been back and forth between 2 and 4 points, the lead for Riverside-Brookfield the last couple of minutes. Jackson Labcon, they're going to call an illegal screen, it looks like, here on Parker Williams. He was just rolling around the screen from Williams. That will be the first foul of the night called against Lane Sack. And with 2:34 to go, the Bulldogs will get possession back. We've not seen any timeouts called by either one of these coaches. As Gonzalez take a mid-level dribble across the midcourt line. Into the game is going to be Stephen Brown, one of the contributors for this squad. Gonzalez gets it straight to the basket. He got fouled, though, on the ground. Had an open layup there. Interesting, they allowed Gonzalez an open lane there. Obviously, he's a very good point guard to make his layups, but Lane Tech bailed out with a foul there. Not sure who was called on. Stephen Brown will inbound things. He's the lone sub so far. He came into the game for Marquise Turner. and it'll be referee's time out, as the refs are going to discuss things here quickly. I imagine whether it is a on-the-ground foul or a shooting foul. 11-7, the lead for Riverside-Brookfield here. 2:23 to go in the first quarter. Thanks for joining us. Alex Burstein on the call here from Lane Gymnasium. Fun couple of minutes of play here, as Lane Tech looks to hang with Riverside-Brookfield, a very, very strong squad. They've won 15 of 16 games heading into the state playoffs. They end up marking the foul on Williams. That is his second of the game, as Brown gets the inbound pass to Ali Josias, who swings it to the right wing to Ferguson. Ferguson's been a good presence on the court. Brown gets it top the key, now back to Ferguson, right side. Labcon with the defense on Ferguson. They take him to the hoop and misses a shot. Scansbury can't pull it down, and I think that went off of Jack Soar. An excellent effort there from Ferguson. Pushes it off the Lane Tech green jersey, and that will lead to our first sub of the night as Lorenzo Aquino checks into the game for Jack Soar here. 2:07 to play in the first frame of action. Inbounds it, now Ali Josias, left corner three, rattles around the rim and in. Riverside-Brookfield off to their biggest lead of the night, 14-7, under 2 now to play in the first quarter. 7-point lead for the Bulldogs. Scansbury holding it near top of the perimeter. We've seen no shots from him yet, but he has been drawing Sisic out. Now Salibo looks to get to work on the left-hand side, made one of those layups. This time it will be off the left of the iron. And pushing it will be Ali Josias, who gives a backhand off to Gonzalez. Inside Sisic, out the free throw line, passes out to Brown. Brown drives left-hand side, can't get the finger roll to drop, and Scansbury pulls down the rebound, hands it off to his teammate Labcon. Labcon angling left, spin move to get around Ferguson. Nice screen here from Scansbury, and they'll give Scansbury the ball, top the key again, hand off to Williams. Williams with a Michael Jordan looking attempt at a layup. Can't get it. Wide open Labcon though. Got the rebound and the three and cuts it back to a 4-point game. 14-10. That's the second field goal of the night for Jackson Labcon. The lead all scores for Lane Tech. Brown gets it right wing. Kenny Rosario will check into the game soon for the champions. They hand it off to Gonzalez, who will back things off. Lorenzo Aquino guarding Gonzalez. A little bit of a height difference there. Gonzalez tries to take him left-hand side. They want to travel. They won't get it to go, and now they will. Wow. Usually when head coach Nicholas Lagalbo calls for a travel, he does not get it from the referee. This time he does. They switch the call there, and the champions will get it back. Rosario now no longer is going to check into the game. 39.8 seconds to play here in the first quarter, and it will be Lane Tech basketball. No one's here to inbound it. They're finally going to rush Lorenzo Aquino over to inbound the basketball. Referees were patient there with the champions as Aquino gives it to Labcon. Now Scansbury gets it near the logo. He'll bring it across mid-court at the LT logo. Labcon right wing. He's already made 1 3 from there, but now tighter defense from Gonzalez. He reverses to left-hand side. They get left corner to Aquino. Aquino backs off. Williams top the key. Williams scoreless here through the first 7.5 of gameplay here at Lane Gymnasium. He dances around with the basketball. Ali Josias on the coverage. Williams still with the basketball, reverse to the left-hand side. Scansbury pulls for 3 and hits it. It's a 1-point game. 2 seconds left. Ali Josias gets all the way down to the basket and misses the finger roll layup, and it is going to be a 1-point game as we enter the second quarter of action. Your score after 1, it's the Riverside-Brookfield Bulldogs 14, your Lane Tech Champions 13. You're listening to Lane Tech Boys Basketball here on the Lane Tech Athletics YouTube channel. To quarter number 2 of action we head. 14-13 your score. The Riverside-Brookfield Bulldogs lead Lane Tech here, but Lane Tech with a late 3 from Dalton Scantlebury cuts it back to a 1-point game. We talked about Scantlebury as a X-factor player tonight for the champions all night, but tonight especially he's been drawing Stefan Sisic out to the 3-point line on defense almost all day, leaving that paint more open for his teammates. This time he decides to take the 3, hits it, and it's a 1-point game. Lane Tech will start off the second quarter with possession. Jackson Labcon will inbound it near midcourt. He's surrounded by Scantlebury, Williams, Aquino, and Salibo on the court. Just one sub in that first quarter for the champions. Scantlebury gets the inbound, hands it off to Salibo, who will reset the offense here. Scantlebury screen to the right-hand side. Salibo holds it. Had an open lane on the right-hand side. Tries to go around Gonzalez. Blocked away there from Sisic, and that will be his first block of the night. Salibo and Gonzalez know each other quite well, both playing as part of the Mean Streets AAU program. And they are guarding each other here early on. Scantlebury rolls around his defender to get the inbound, passes it right out to Salibo. Right hand drives, gets the 2 to go, and Lane Tech has their first lead of the night here. 15-14, 7:38 to play here in quarter number 2 of action. Brown still in the game. He gives it back to Gonzalez. Screen to the left, Sisic, and he cannot hit the 3. Gonzalez there. Good defense from Salibo, moving around the screen from Sisic. Labcon gets it to Scantlebury, hands off to Labcon. Those handoff passes have been really big for the champions tonight. We'll see another one as they hand it off to Salibo near front court left. Salibo pulls for 3, blocked from Gonzalez. Brown gets the short rebound and is off to the races. Finally slows down his pace. They try to push it to Gonzalez. He had the run to get that one and will reset the offense to Brown. Inside, top of the free throw, Sisic. This Riverside-Brookfield team loves their in-out offense. They can score on the inside and the outside. Ali Josias almost loses his dribble, now goes around Williams, and a travel is going to be called, second of the night here against the Bulldogs. And with 6:45 to go here in the second quarter, it'll be Lane Tech basketball. Lane doing a very good job sticking with the Bulldogs here early on in quarter number 2. Labcon being guarded by Gonzalez. Riverside-Brookfield's gone back and forth with a full court press here. That'll be Scantlebury who gives it back to Labcon. Jackson Labcon's had the ball in his hands a lot more than usual. They get to Scantlebury near the logo, takes a couple of dribbles, now left-hand wing. It's Aquino with the basketball. Salibo wide open left corner 3, can't get it to go, fighting for the rebound. Williams can't get it, but Scantlebury gets it. Now out top the court, key 3, Labcon misses, and flying out of nowhere, Brown gets it. So 2 missed 3s there from the champions that would have moved it to a 2-possession game. Gonzalez gets it inside. The short 10-foot jumper missed from Landon Rivers in the game, and Sisic gets the rebound. He goes up for 2, misses, gets his own rebound, but Scantlebury rips it away. Hands it off to Lorenzo Aquino, and 5:50 to play in the second quarter. Lane Tech still holds on to a 1-point lead. Labcon being guarded by Rivers. Salibo gets it at the free throw line, gives a short jumper after a dribble, but can't get it to fall. Gonzalez now will bring it up. Those two have been the key players all season long for their team, as Brown jumps to get a high pass, step back 3, and that one bounces over the backboard here. Not super big student sections for either of these teams, but with the fans who have been here, they have been loud. The Lane Tech student section getting close to stepping on the court, as we're going to see a 30-second timeout called here by, looks like, Riverside-Brookfield. So that's going to be the first timeout called here of the game with 5:24 to go in the second quarter. The scoring has greatly dropped off here to start off the second quarter. We saw 1 or 2 baskets from Lane Tech as they were able to take the lead here. But since then, the scoring has really just dropped off. We've seen some missed 3s from the champions. We saw some turnovers from the Bulldogs. They've had 2 travels here today from 2 of their best players, one from Gonzalez, one from Ali Josias. Those are 2 players you do not want to see having errors like that. So that's definitely something the Bulldogs are going to want to clean up here with 5.5 to play in the first half of action. Good atmosphere here at Lane Tech. Sure, it's going to be even a more electric atmosphere for the regional final on Friday night. That is set for a 7 p.m. tip-off. Hinsdale Central gets the winner of this one. Williams inbounds it to Labcon, length of the court to go. They go back to Williams, and Parker Williams will bring it up the court for the first time tonight. Ali Josias backs off defense. He's going to roll around a screen from Scantlebury, but not in time because they give it to Labcon before he has a chance to catch back to Williams. Scantlebury, short bounce pass to Williams. Lane's been taking all the time they need on possessions. Williams now drives left-hand side, gets stuck up there by Ali Josias. Right wing, Keno gets the pass, and he loses the basketball, taken away there by number 24, Rex Dockendorf into the game. Ali Josias goes to the other end, rejected by Dalton Scantlebury. Now Williams will push the pace in the corner. Right wing three, just off the mark there from Aquino. Lane's missed 3 open threes in the last minute of play as a foul's going to be called on Jackson Labcon, reaching in there on Gonzalez, trying for the steal. That's going to be the 3rd foul of the night. One of the earlier fouls from Williams got moved to Scantlebury, so it's 1 foul on Labcon, 1 on Williams, 1 on Scantlebury. We've only seen 4 fouls called this entire game, just 1 against the Bulldogs. As Ali Josias will swing it to Dockendorf, down low Citrus. He just has 1 field goal and almost another block here from Scantlebury. Labcon brings down the rebound. They've done a very good job controlling the big man for this Bulldogs team, who has had multiple 20-plus point games this season. Williams top the key 3, and he drains it! Lane Tech ends a scoring drought for both of these squads and gets it to a 2-possession lead, 18-14, halfway through the second quarter. Gonzalez, Dockendorf, now they'll get it back to Gonzalez. Inside Sisic, left-hand side, trying to get around Scantlebury. Backs into his defender, goes up, and a foul's going to be called, I believe, against Scantlebury. That will be his 2nd of the night, and Stefan Sisic will head to the line with 3:51 to play here in the second quarter of action. Thanks for joining us. Alex Burstein on the call here from Lane Gymnasium. We've still only seen 1 sub into the game all night for the champions. Lorenzo Aquino came in for Jack Tor late in the first quarter. Aquino still in the game here as Sisic gets ready for his 2 free throws. First one perfect, cuts it to a 3-point game. As timeout's going to be called here by Lane Tech, a full timeout called by head coach Nicholas Legalbo here with 3:51 to go here in the second period, likely just giving his players a breather, chance to bring the energy levels down a little bit. We saw Lane Tech getting a little bit excited there on a couple of shots. The long 3, though, from Williams, that's reason to get excited. That was some big-time shooting from the junior as Jack Soar's going to check back into the game. This time, though, he comes in for Scantlebury. So Scantlebury exits with 2 fouls, and this is going to be a big stretch for the champions with Scantlebury off the court. They are not going to have a player taller than Shahid Saliba, who comes in at 6'4" on our roster in the game right now. Stefan Sisic 7 inches taller than that, so this could be the time for the big man to shine for the Bulldogs. We'll see if that's what happens here with 3:51 to go in the second quarter. Out of the timeout, it is going to be a pair, the second of 2 free throws for Sisic. As you mentioned, he has 2 Division I offers in the last couple of weeks from San Diego and a Power 5 offer, ACC, from Georgia Tech. He's the tallest player that Mike Reingruber has coached. This is his first season at Riverside-Brookfield, and boy, has he had quite the year. He's coming off a double-double in the last regular season game, a 25-point double-double against Aurora Christian. Tonight, though, he has been held to just 3 points here early on, looking to make it 4. Spins the ball around in his hands, goes up for the shot, and that one is perfect. Beautiful shooting there from Sisic, and cuts it to a 2-point game. 3:50 to go here in the second quarter. Jackson Labcon brings it across midcourt, bounce pass to Jack Soar, who's standing at the top of the key. They have Sisic guarding him now, and Jack Soar once again is going to drag him out to the perimeter. Now they trap Aquino. Jack Soar's wide open in the corner for a 3. He can't hit, and bring it down the rebounds Dockendorf. They'll push it through Rivers, who brings it up left-hand side. Gonzalez pulls for 3, off the mark there. Rough night shooting for Gonzalez, but off the fingertips of Jack Soar. The ball will stay with the Bulldogs. We saw 2 early shots made by the junior, but since then he's not made one. 5 points for Will Gonzalez here. As the inbound pass goes top the key, they do some swinging around the perimeter, find open Dockendorf. He can shoot threes, but misses this one. Jack Soar chases down the rebound, throws it to Williams, who will bring it across midcourt. Being guarded by Ali Josias. Williams saw an opening there, but Ali Josias just well to block it. Now Labcon will take things near the top of the court. Screen from Jack Soar. He rolls off of it. Can't get the pass, though, because it's stolen away from Rivers. Rivers in transition. Tries for the left-handed layup. Can't get it to fall. This one off the fingertips of Gonzalez. And the champions will get it back. Once again, we have seen the referees very uninvolved in this game. It's something you like to see in the playoffs. Sometimes you see a lot of fouls, sometimes even deciding games in playoff games like this. We've only seen the whistle blown 5 times for a foul here. 4 against the champions, 1 against the Bulldogs here through the first 13 minutes of this game. Salibo brings it across midcourt, being guarded by Rivers. Rivers is a good defender, but a little bit of a size mismatch there. One-handed pass to Jack Soar. This one tipped away from Ali Josias, but chasing it down in the backcourt is Jack Soar. He gets stuck up. He does not have a dribble to use, and a timeout's going to be called by Lane Tech. So Lane Tech forced to use their second of 5 timeouts here with 2.5 to play here in the second quarter. 18-16, Lane Tech still leading Riverside-Brookfield here in the second round of the IHSA state playoffs here in the Hinsdale Central Sectional. We did see 2 regional quarterfinals on Saturday. Argo defeated Juarez 85-43. Proviso West defeated Kelly 94-15, but both of those teams have been eliminated already tonight. We saw Hinsdale Central take care of business, 20-point win over Proviso West, and Whitney Young with a 24-point win, 84-60 over Argo. Those are the only 2 finals we have been able to find so far tonight, but we are hoping when we search through Twitter at halftime, we are able to find a couple more local area scores. We'll also get you where everyone else in the Red Northwest is playing here in the state series tonight. All 10 of the teams still alive as Labcon gets it to Salibo. Some miscommunication there between Aquino and Salibo of who was going to get it, but it will be Salibo who brings it across the midcourt line, gets a screen to his left, takes it to the right, goes into the lane, and a travel is going to be called on Shahid Salibo. The junior got a little too excited there, and it ends up in a turnover. Sometimes Michael O'Brien in attendance for tonight's game. He was covering the first matchup here tonight, Hinsdale Central versus Proviso West, but getting a good look at 2 teams that have had some interesting seasons, Riverside-Brookfield and Lane Tech. Gonzalez gets it left side, a quick give-and-go pass there from Ali Josias. He swings around the baseline. Now they get to Ferguson, outlet pass down low. Turner, who finishes with the left side layup, and we're all knotted up at 18 here with under 2 to play in the first half. Lane Tech sticking in this one, but their lead has evaporated. Labcon gets guarded by Gonzalez, crosses him up, then goes to the left-hand side, tries for the layup, and gets the bounce off the front of the rim. Very, very confident move to the basket there from Jackson Labcon. Gonzalez hands it off. Ali Josias pulls for 3, misses it. He has not made a 3 yet tonight, and possession will stay with the Bulldogs. He made 104 of those in the regular season. Still chasing number 105 here, though. 2 points on the night for the senior Winona State recruit. Gets it to Gonzalez near the logo. They'll give right side to Ferguson. Inside Turner. He's been camping there near the plate, near the paint, and Sistrich gets fouled as he gets the ball from Salibo. That's going to be foul number 5 here on the half for the champions. So they just have 1 more to go. That was the first foul against Shahid Salibo, who at times this year has had some foul trouble. Only had 1 here, though, so far in the first half. Ferguson will inbound it underneath the scoring basket for the Bulldogs. Has Gonzalez in the right corner, decides not to give it to him. Instead, a long pass to Ali Josias, who has to jump to get it. They give it back to Ferguson, who drives from the left wing, and a charge taken there by number 10, Jack Soar. That's been one of the best parts of his game here this season, the ability to take charges. And that's the first charge we've seen called here all night at Lane Tech, at least in this game. I'm not sure if we saw any called in that first game either. And the possession will swing back to the champions, 20-18. That was the second foul called here against Hunter Ferguson. who, despite only having 2 points, has a good presence on the court. Labcon works it left wing to Solivo. Pulls for a quick three and hits it. Lead up to 5 for the champions, the largest it's been tonight. 23-18, 1 minute to play in the first half. It's been a low-scoring affair. Ferguson left wing gets it. Gonzalez, NBA range 3 off the back of the rim. Turner punches that out, but it will go to the champions. No one there to save it for the Bulldogs. And we're going to see Stephen Brown check back into the game for Ferguson. 51.2 seconds to go here in the second period. We saw Lane Tech hold late in the first period for a long 3 from Dalton Scantlebury. He spent most of this second quarter on the bench with 2 fouls. Jackson Labcon skittles around with the ball down low, and a quick 2 good from Parker Williams. The Lane Tech offense is off and running. 25-18 the score. Gonzalez holds it near the logo, 26 seconds on the clock. Do a little give and go, back and forth with Brown, and it will end up in the hands of Brown. Gonzalez wide open for 3. Aquino blew his coverage there, but another missed 3 from the junior. Stefan Sitchich there as though is there for the putback. 25-20, 8 seconds left. Solivo pushes the pace on the left-hand side, goes behind his back, Euro step to the basket, cannot get a shot off, stripped away. Ali Josias half-court 3, no good, and Lane Tech will head into the locker room with a 5-point lead, 25-20, and it's official. The Riverside-Brookfield Bulldogs are on upset alert here in the second round of the IHSA state playoffs. A lot of applause from the Lane Tech student section as Lane Tech heads into the locker room. It'll be 10-minute halftime, but for now we will stick with it. And interesting here, Hinsdale Central and their team is going to leave here after the first half. I assume they were going to stay and see who their opponent is going to be on Friday, but looks like they are leaving right now to go back to their bus or however they got here. So that's just an interesting note as the Lane Tech cheerleaders come onto the court here to practice one of their routines. 9:40 on the halftime clock. We'll take you through the bracket here for the IHSA 4A Hinsdale Central sectional, and then we'll also get you some Red Northwest talk. But first, let's talk about this sectional and just how crazy of a sectional it is here in Hinsdale Central in this Chicagoland, North Chicago part of the 4A bracket. So first off, let's just name all the ranked teams. You have number 5, Curie, number 6, Whitney Young, number 8, Hinsdale Central, number 10, Downers Grove North, number 16, Proviso East, number 22, Lions. So there's 6 teams, and the 7th is Riverside-Brookfield, team we're seeing here tonight, who have won 25 games this season. So that top 7 are just very impressive. And you go on from there, you have an OPRF team that's had some good wins. Lincoln Park, who's been hot this season. Number 10, Jones. This is where it starts to drop off a little bit, and then you have Lane at the 11 seed. So those are your top 11. Taking you through the bracket, Whitney Young already through to the regional final. They'll be taking on the winner of Oak Park River Forest and Lincoln Park on Friday over at, I believe that regional is being hosted by OPRF. In the Downers Grove North regional, Downers Grove North took on Downers Grove South. We are looking quickly to see if we can find a final score from that one. I still do not see any on Twitter, so that could have been a close game. Very, very strange to have a DGN versus DGS game in the state playoffs, but that's how the bracket ended up going. So that was one of the matchups at 6 p.m., and then the winner of that one takes on the winner of Proviso East and Morden. Likely an easy win for the Pirates there. Here in our section, our regional, we already saw Hinsdale Central take care of business against Proviso West. 56-36 was the final. Just a couple of short minutes ago, more than a couple of short minutes ago, but about 45 minutes ago, 8:22 local time, your time here in Roscoe Village. The winner of that one, Hinsdale Central, gets the winner of this one, and then your final final regional of this sectional is going to be Curie against Leyden. We saw at halftime Leyden had the win over Curie. That would have been a big-time upset. We're going to look quickly to see if we have a final score. We do. 67-56 was the final. So Curie does end up advancing there to the sectional final, and then that the winner of that, Curie, gets the winner of Lions and Jones. Lions has had some really good highs this year. They've had a couple of losses they probably want back, but it seems like you can say that about almost every team at this point in the season, so that is where things are going to stand here for the Bulldogs as we still have about under 7 minutes to play here in the halftime break. Thanks for joining us. Alex Burstein on the call here from Lane Gymnasium. We're going to take a quick break and be back in a second. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Lane Tech Boys Basketball here on the Lane Tech Athletics YouTube channel. Back here at Lane Gymnasium, 25-20, your halftime score. The Lane Tech champions with the surprise lead over the Riverside-Brookfield Bulldogs. Your leading scores here for both the squads. It's been a pretty balanced scoring effort tonight for the champions. We have 8 from Shahid Salibo, 2 from Jack Soar, 5 from Jackson Labcon, 7 from 7 from Jackson Labcon, 5 from Parker Williams, and then final, we'll be back 1 second. And then, as we were saying, 7 from Labcon, 5 from Williams, and then there was 3 from Dalton Scansbury. He did spend most of that last quarter on the bench, though, with 2 fouls. So it'll be interesting to see how much playing time he gets here in the third quarter of action. As for the Riverside-Brookfield Bulldogs, it's also been a pretty balanced scoring effort from them. 5 from Gonzalez, 5 from Ali Josias, who still does not have a 3 made. We usually would expect him to have multiple 3s made by this point. He only has, I believe, free throws and a field goal. So a chance he made 1 3, but it's been a pretty quiet night from him. 6 from Stefan Sisic, who we saw kind of heat up there more at the end of the second quarter of play. And then finally we have 2 in the effort from Marquise Turner, and I believe a couple of baskets from Hunter Ferguson. He's off the scoreboard right now, though, as he ended the half not on the court, so we do not have the points for him right now. But as you see, it's been balanced scoring from both these teams. Lane Tech has just had a little bit more. They have the game's highest scorer right now in Shahid Salibo, who almost had another 2 there at the end of the first half that likely would have sent the crowd here into pandemonium, but just was a little bit short, and he wanted to foul. The referees did not give it to him, but Lane Tech, I mean, the ball is in their court. This is a home matchup. They come in as the lower seed, but, I mean, if you're Lane Tech, that's not what's on your mind right now. What's on your mind is you have a 5-point lead, and you have 16 minutes to go and defend it. It's a Riverside-Brookfield team that has not lost a lot this season. In the first couple of weeks, they had 2 losses to Curie and Bennett. Obviously, 2 of the top 5 teams right now, top 6 teams in the rankings. Then you have 2 losses to Ignatius. Ignatius has had a rough spot the last couple of weeks, but other than that, the first part of the season, they've been very, very strong. So those 2 losses at that point in the season seemed okay, and then 6-7 games ago, they had a 12-point loss to Lions. Once again, another very respectable top 25 team. So they have not lost to a team that has been unranked that hasn't been ranked this season. They have not, and this would be the first one here. They are not able to overcome the deficit. The Bulldogs are going to come back onto the court with about 3 minutes to go in the halftime break. Lane Tech still in the locker room talking things over. A big part of this deficit, we just saw a lot of missed shots from William Gonzalez. The 6'5" junior guard has the look of a really good basketball player, has a very strong build, has some good height to him, to his body, but he just has not been able to hit from beyond the arc. He's coming off a 13-point, 11 assists, 6 rebounds performance against Aurora Christian. He's been knocking on the door of a triple-double all season long, but he's going to need a little bit more for that to come true here tonight. Still 2 minutes to go here in the halftime break. The head coach, Mike Reingruber, of this Bulldogs team said that the keys for the team this year have really been their inside-outside play and scoring the basketball in a lot of different ways. we just haven't really seen that as much. Sisic kind of activated that inside scoring a couple of minutes ago there near the end of the second half, but the threes just have not been falling. We'll see if they're able to hit those three-point shots more in the second half of play. We promised you a look through the Red Northwest here at halftime, so we'll get you that right now. All 10 of the teams in action here tonight. We talked about Young already. They defeated Argo easily in 4A. Westinghouse was taking on Muchin at 6 o'clock in 3A. The Warriors easily took the win there. North Lawndale took on Orr in one of two interconference matchups. Actually, kind of surprising the way that worked out, but North Lawndale defeated Orr earlier tonight in 2A action, and then Prosser taking on Perspectives MSA in 3A action, and then the final two matchups, OPRF taking on Lincoln Park. That game's at OPRF. That was a 7:30 tip here in this sectional, and then Clark is taking on Intrinsic downtown at 6 p.m. in 2A. Clark finished 7th in the conference, but they still have a good chance of making a run. 2A not super strong this year. When you get down to those 1A, 2A sectionals, usually for the Chicagoland Red Conference teams, they're able to steamroll through them pretty easily. So be interesting to see which of these teams can make the longest run. Obviously, most people's money would be on Whitney Young, but you always have some of those low enrollment schools, North Lawndale and Clark, that can make some surprises, and you never know. Only a couple of wins needed to make it down to Champaign for the state finals. See which of the public league teams can crack through that here this 2023 season. I mean, I saw someone tweet, this is the possible year that the rare, not trifecta, but quadfecta, all four classes would be won by the public league. Possibly you have Simeon in 3A, Young and Kenwood in 4A. In 1A, Marshall's had a good second half of the season. And in 2A, you have teams like North Lawndale and Clark. So a lot of good chances for the public league to contend here in the IHSA State Series. As the halftime buzzer is going to ring, Alton Scantlebury will check back into the game. So it'll be Williams, Solibo, Labcon, Scantlebury, and Jack Soar on the court for the champions. They're going to be going from right to left across the court when they get possession, but it will be Bulldogs possession going from left to right across the court with their five of Gonzalez, Ali Josias, Stefan Sisic, Hunter Ferguson, and Marquise Turner. Ali Josias stands on the far side near midcourt, inbounds it to Gonzalez, and we are underway. 16 minutes, Lane Tech trying to pull off a big upset win here. Gonzalez gets a screen to his right, takes it to his left, now hands it off to Ali Josias from right wing. Down low, the pass away from Sisic. He lost the basketball, but Jack Soar stood on the baseline trying to throw that away, and a missed chance there for the champions there. They wanted the turnover, but just the feet a little too far outside there for Jack Soar. Ferguson will inbound it. Labcon guarding the inbound. They easily get to Ali Josias, stuck in the right corner. He'll dribble his way out. As I mentioned, a quiet first two quarters for the senior. Cross-court pass to Gonzalez. Down low, Turner gets it. Now top the key, Ali Josias. He's had the ball in his hands a lot, but Lane Tech's done a good job guarding him. Handoff pass to Gonzalez near the logo. Screen to his left. He takes it around Solibo, but Solibo switches back onto him. Now Turner tries to drive up the middle, pulls up two, and gets it to drop. Cuts it back to a three-point game. Apologies, folks. Our score bug was off there for a second. 25-22 your score. Turner took the first shot in the first half, didn't make it, but will make the first shot here of the second half. Scantlebury gets stuck up here near the top of the key, gives it to Labcon. Labcon hesitation, and bounce pass to a cutting Solibo, who gets the layup to go. Looked to have a rocky handle there for a second, but is able to use the backboard to his advantage. 10 points on the night for the senior. Ferguson on the right wing, gets it to Gonzalez. Top the key, he drives left-hand side, trying to respond with a similar basket of his own, but cannot get it. Solibo pulls down the rebound. Jackson Labcon, wide open left corner three, can't get it to drop. Gets his own rebound, though, at the free throw line. Pulls up from 10 feet and gets it to go. Two straight baskets from Lane Tech in response to the Turner two, and it's a 7-point lead once again for the champions. 6:15 to go here in the third quarter. Still a lot of time to play here. Turner wide open for three. Jack Soar, the closeout defense. Scantlebury grabs the rebound, and Labcon will slowly bring the ball up the court. He gets guarded by Ferguson, and they will instead give the honor to Solibo, who brings it across the midcourt line. Screen to his right from Scantlebury. Salibo's not been afraid to get into the paint, and a travel is going to be called instead on Salibo. Did not feel like he traveled there. We'll shake it off. And his Mean Streets teammate Gonzalez will bring it up the court. The juniors have been the star attractions tonight for both of their squads. 10 points from Salibo, 5 from Gonzalez. Screen to left side. Gonzalez pulls from the free throw line and hits it. If he's able to hit shots in this second half, that's going to be key. As you mentioned, only 5 points in the first half. He's usually a double-digit scorer here, and now it's just 3 points away from that. They pass to Scantlebury. Gives it right side to Labcon. Labcon angles right out to Salibo. Fakes the corner three. Euro step gets blocked, and they'll say there is contact. Shahid Salibo will head to the line. Had 1 free throw in the first half. Converted it. This time he'll have 2. In the Von Steuben win, Lane Sack had a lot of free throws. We saw Salibo and Scantlebury combine for... Salibo had 19, Scantlebury had 17. They combined for 36 points, and I think at least 15 of those were probably from the free throw line. We didn't end up getting the stats from that game, as first shot is made from Salibo, but it was a lot of made free throws. 30-24 your score, champions in the lead. Second shot is up and good. 31-24 your score. 5:15 to play here in the third quarter. As Gonzalez will get the handoff here from Ali Josias. Every play runs through the junior, and Salibo gets called for the blocking foul. He tried to back away quickly there, did not want the foul called, but the referees will call it as the second on Salibo, first on Lane Sack this half. We saw neither team get into bonus there in the first half of play as Ferguson passes it into the corner. Dangerous pass there. Ali Josias gives it to Sisic. They double team him. This is working very well, but Gonzalez is left open. Right wing three. Miss. Scantlebury can't get the rebound. It's Ferguson who gets fouled and almost gets the and one. That one felt like an eternity rolling around the rim, but it ends up not falling, and instead Hunter Ferguson will have 2 free throws to try to cut this back to a 5-point game. Very excited energy here in Lane Gymnasium. Champions 12 minutes, 51 seconds away from a possible upset. Still tons of basketball to be played. That foul was called on Jack Tsor, his first team second here. So they're wiping up some sweat that was on the floor there after Ferguson fell to the ground. We talked about how big of a presence Ferguson has had here today. That's been all season long. I mean, he's not a super big scorer. He has just 2 points in this game, but I mean, you look at a Chicago Christian game earlier this season where he had 10 assists. His first free throw is up and good, so he finds ways to impact the box score, to impact the final score in a lot of different ways, even if it is not scoring here for the senior. Second shot is up and good as well. Very good free throw shooting here from the Bulldogs. Let's cut this back to a 5-point game. Salibo will bring it up, gives it to Jack Tsor. Gonzalez with some loose defense. Bounce pass was blocked away. Turner comes up with it. Now he loses it, and a travel called on Labcon. Very interesting there. It looked like he was just trying to get 2 hands on the ball. I didn't even think he had possession, but they're going to call a travel, and the Bulldogs will get it back, trying to cut this to a 1-possession game. No subs yet this half for either team. Gonzalez angles right-hand side. Quick pass to Ferguson. Now they bring it to the left-hand side around the perimeter to Turner. Turner back to Gonzalez. Salibo gets screened to his left-hand side. Trying to ice the screen, it looks like here. He pokes it away, but Turner's there to grab it. Almost a very impressive steal there from Salibo. Turner gets trapped away. They throw it into the hands of Scantlebury, and Lane Tech avoids kind this back to a 1-possession game. Labcon to Jack Tsor in the corner. Williams gets it. He's going to try to drive on Gonzalez. Not going to have a lot of good luck with that. Instead backs up and resets the offense. Right side, Jack Tsor feeds right entry to Scantlebury. Back out to Williams. At some point, Lane Tech's going to want to slow down their offense a bit if they're able to extend this lead by a couple of baskets. Labcon's now going to hold it in front court left. Gets a screen to his right from Scantlebury. Scantlebury backs down low, but instead they give it to Jack Tsor on the right side. Student section getting loud for both teams. Scantlebury left-handed layup, misses it. Scantlebury there for the rebound though, and he gets fouled, going up for 2. That's going to be the first foul on the night for Stefan Sisic. Very impressive there. 6'11", big guys usually sometimes get in foul trouble. It's going to be his first team second of the half. But Dalton Scantlebury has been a very impressive free throw shooter this year. We'll have a pair of them here. Takes a couple of dribbles, bends his knee, shot is up and good. Beautiful free throw shooting. I'm not sure if we've seen a free throw miss from either one of these teams this year. This game, I should say. 32-26 your score. Lane Tech leads, 3:36 to play. So you saw Landon Rivers check in there for Hunter Ferguson, giving some more defensive presence on the court for the Bulldogs. Couple of dribbles from Scantlebury. The shot is up and rattles around the rim and out. Jack Soar tried to grab that rebound, but instead punches it out of bounds. And the Bulldogs will get it back up by 6. 3:34 to go here in the third. Landon Rivers brings it across midcourt. Labcon looking around to see if there's a screen. There isn't one. One of the rare times tonight we have not seen screening on offense for either one of these teams. Gonzalez gets it in the right corner. It's trapped up, though. Give it to Ali Josias, who drives from the center of the court, gets fouled, count the basket. A very late call there from the referee. Head coach Nicholas Segalbo for Lane Tech not happy with that call. But either way, it will end up cutting it to a 4-point game, and Ali Josias will have a chance to cut it to a one-possession game here with a free throw. A quiet 7 points for him tonight. Foul called on Williams, his second, the team's third of the half. Still no subs this half for Lane Tech. 3:13 to play in the third. As free throws made, and it's a 3-point game. We've seen Lane Tech's lead as many as 8 here in the second half. Neither team has had a double-digit lead here today. Labcon gets it to Scantlebury near the logo. Scantlebury's been a good presence here for Lane Tech in the second half after having some foul trouble in the first. So Lebo gets at the free throw line. Floater, wanted the foul, won't get it. Lane's not been getting the foul calls they want. Gonzalez takes it coast to coast, left side, can't finish. Blocked there from Scantlebury. Jack Soar flies into the rebound. He runs right-hand side, passes out to Labcon. 3 on its way, and can't get it to go. This one tipped away. Gonzalez off to the races. 1 on 3. He does not have numbers, but still finishes with the 2. It's a 1-point game here. 32-31, 2.5 to play. Jack Soar will give it to Jackson Labcon. 9 points now for Gonzalez. We'll see if that wakes up this Riverside-Brookfield offense. Scantlebury will hold it near the top of the key, left side. They get to Jack Soar. He's stuck on the wing. They give it to Saliba now. Thought about the turnaround 3, instead works his way in, and he gets fouled on the ground. So that will slow things down. The student sections for both of these teams were getting very, very excited there for a second, but the energy will calm for a second as Shahid Saliba will inbound it underneath the scoring basket. All the players clump up near the paint. They get it quickly to Scantlebury. Nice screen. Saliba can't finish the 2, but he gets his own rebound tipped into his hand. Now Scantlebury underneath the basket, blocked away. He gets his own rebound now. Third chance for the champions. Labcon 4-3. Can't get it to go. And Gonzalez is racing again. He has Turner to his right-hand side, decides to take it himself. Can't finish the shot, but a foul's going to be called. And it'll be Will Gonzalez trying to give the Bulldogs back the lead here. The foul was called on Jack Soar. 1:51 to play here in the third. 32-31, champions lead. Landon Rivers, the lone non-starter into the game. He's been in for Ferguson the last couple of minutes. First shot from Gonzalez is up and rattles out. So the Bulldogs will not be able to take the lead this possession. They can tie it, though, here with the second of 2 free throws. Very exciting game here in the IHSA Regional Semifinal at Lane. Second shot is missed as well. So Gonzalez 0 for 2 from the line. Labcon gives it to Scantlebury. We've seen Scantlebury bring it across midcourt, maybe more tonight than we've seen him do all season long. Go back and forth between Jack Soar. Now Saliba pulls for 3. Air ball there. He wanted the foul call on Gonzalez. Does not get it, though, and the Bulldogs once again with a chance to take the lead. Ali Joseph loses it, and they'll say it's tipped away by Jack Soar. Lane Tech has not had the luck of the whistle here in the third quarter. Under 90 seconds to play, 1:26 to go. Give it to Sisic on the perimeter. Now 3 from IHSA, who almost hit a big one there. It rattles around the rim and out. Turner falls on it, and a foul's going to be called? Wow. So Jack Zor gets called for the foul, trying to get the jump ball. That's going to be the 4th of the half on the champions, 5th on the half for the champions, 3rd on Jack Zor. Imagine we might see him come out of the game soon. So much more likely that we're going to see bonus here in the second half. As you mentioned, we saw neither team have the bonus there in the first half of play. Lorenzo Aquino is going to check in for Jack Zor momentarily. Williams, Labcon, Scantlebury, Solibo, the 5 on the court for the champions. Gonzalez, Turner, Sisic, IHSA, and Rivers, your 5 on the court for the Bulldogs. As Keno makes his way onto the court, it'll be Rivers inbounding it under the scoring basket. Gets it out to IHSA inside, feeds it to Sisic in the right wing, right block, and an and one's going to be called. Scantlebury over his left shoulder, gives the Bulldogs back the lead, and a free throw here from Sisic will make it a 2-point game. 8 points now for the 6'11 junior. Transfer from Notre Dame College Prep here in Niles, Illinois. Just a little ways away here from Lane Tech. Made the transfer to Riverside-Brookfield. It's been a good choice for him. He's had an electric season. And he will finish the 3-point play. 34-32. Lane Tech trails. 1:11 to play in the third. Energy starting to come from the Riverside-Brookfield fans now after there was a lot of momentum for the champions. They see an 8-point lead here in the third evaporate. Scantlebury hands it off to Williams. Step back 3, air ball there. Back-to-back air ball 3s, first from Solido, then from Williams. Gonzalez will push it right-hand side. IHSA for a big 3, rattles around the rim and out. He has not had the luck of the rim here. Scantlebury tries to take it himself, pushes it out. Williams, left corner 3. He hits it. Lane Tech back in the lead. 35-34 your score. Lane Tech with the lead. 30 seconds. Feed it once again to Sisic. Scantlebury tries to take the charge. Can't get it, but it will be thrown out of bounds from Sisic. That was a nice charge attempt there from Scantlebury. He fell perfectly with the movement from the big man. But it will not matter as Lane Tech's going to get the basketball back either way. 23.9 seconds left. It was a 25-20 halftime lead for the champions. They've been outscored here 14-10 in the third quarter of action, but will not matter. If they can hold this for a final shot in the third, they'll be heading into the final frame with the lead. Handed off to Labcon from Scantlebury, who will bring it across midcourt, being guarded by Rivers. Scantlebury fakes the handoff, takes it right side, gets fouled, and with 10.6 seconds left, Scantlebury will take the free throw. So lucky there. Lane Tech decides not to hold for a final shot, but they get bailed out with the foul. That's the second on Stefan Sisic, and we'll see Rex Dockendorf, 3-point specialist, check into the game here momentarily after the first free throw for the Bulldogs. He had 3 threes in the game earlier this season against Oak Lawn. Second year as a varsity contributor for this Bulldogs squad. As Scantlebury misses the front end of his 2 free throws. He's 1 for 3 from the line. Dockendorf comes into the game for Turner. Okay, so we'll see one more here from Scantlebury. Move it to a 2-point lead. However, because they decided to quickly go to the basket, that will be another chance for the Bulldogs, most likely to get a shot off here. They have Williams checking Dockendorf in the backcourt. A couple of dribbles from Scantlebury, puts his shot up, and this time it's good. 36-34. Rivers gets trapped up, bounce pass to Gonzalez, wide open. Dockendorf with 4 seconds, hands it off to Gonzalez for the lead. Can't get the 3 to go. This one goes out of bounds, and that will bring us to the end of 3 quarters. A 5-point lead at the start of the quarter turns to a 2-point lead at the end of it. Lane Tech 36-34 as we enter the 4th quarter. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Lane Tech boys basketball here on the Lane Tech Athletics YouTube channel. Eight minutes away from Lane Tech possibly upsetting the Riverside-Brookfield Bulldogs. The champions have a 2-point lead as we enter the 4th quarter here. Thanks for joining us. Alex Burstein on the call here from Lane Gymnasium. Lane Tech has only seen 6 players hit the court here tonight. Dalton Scansbury, Shahid Salibo, Jackson Labcon, Parker Williams, and Lorenzo Aquino. Your 5 on the court right now, and Jack Soar, who's on the bench with 3 fouls, who's also played some decent minutes. It'll be Lane Tech basketball rolling from right to left here to start off the 4th quarter of play. Jackson Labcon's going to inbound it. Lane Tech has 4 players at the baseline. They're going to screen down, try to get Salibo open. Instead, Scansbury brings it at the top of the key. Fakes the handoff to Labcon, instead gives it to Salibo. Salibo working from midcourt, spin move to the basket, finishes the 2. What a shot there from Shahid Salibo, back up to a 4-point lead. 7:45 to go here in the 4th. Landon Rivers being guarded by Labcon. They give it left side. Stewart section game loud here for Lane Tech. Rivers now on the right side, passes it off to Gonzalez, contested 3. Misses off the rim, and they're going to say possession to Lane Tech off the fingertips of Sisic. Gonzalez has had 9 points, not a bad night by any means, but some of these threes just have not been falling for him. The rims have not been friendly tonight to the Bulldogs. Jackson Labcon, it's guarded by Dockendorf, still into the game. Hands it off to Salibo. Scansbury down low, gets it to go. 4-0 run to start off the quarter for Lane Tech. 6-point lead, 7:09 to play here in the 4th. They hand it off to Rivers. Ali Josias has not taken a shot yet here in the 1st minute. He got kind of more comfortable with his shot there in the 3rd. This time he'll pull for 3. Gets fouled though from Williams, and 3 free throws incoming here from Ali Josias. Williams came out of nowhere trying to contest that, and it ends up in 3 free throws for the senior. Ali Josias, a very, very impressive free throw shooter. Possibly the most impressive free throw shooter Lane Tech has faced off against this year. In the Jack Tosh tournament where the Bulldogs played, falling in the quarterfinals, he took 18 free throws. He made all 18 of them as he makes the first of 3 here to cut it to a 5-point game. If he makes the 2nd and the 3rd, this will be back to a 1-possession game. That foul did put the Bulldogs in the bonus as 2nd shot is good. Once again, we've only seen 2 or 3 missed free throws here today. A pair from Scansbury and maybe 1 from Salibo, but both teams have been very solid from the line. As 3rd shot is good, 3 for 3 there from the senior, and 40-37 is your score. Full court press here coming from the Bulldogs. Labcon gives it to Scansbury. Seems like whenever Lane Tech has troubles, they just break the press through Scansbury. Salibo gets it right wing. Tries to dance into the paint, Euro step, and a travel's going to be called. Lane Tech student section's confused about that. Lane Tech coaching staff's confused about that. I'll be honest, I'm a little confused about that. Looked like it was a clean Euro step there from Salibo, but he will not get the shot off. 6.5 now to play. Rivers takes it across midcourt, gets it to Zockendorf inside, they feed Sisic to put it out of 1-point game. He missed there, fell to the ground, will not get fouled. Solivo almost loses it, but a nice spin move keeps it alive. Williams fakes the three. Labcon did not have time for the three. Gonzalez slipped for three, he hits it! Jackson Labcon for three to lead back out to 6. 43-37, 6 minutes to play here in the fourth. Ali Josias tries for a quick response too, can't get it. Sisic gets the rebound, and this time he'll finish easily with the two. No foul needed. 4-point game on that last possession. Labcon thought about not taking the three, but then Gonzalez slipped. And a backcourt violation called here. Labcon looked to be over, but they said one of his feet was to the right of the line. And interesting turnover there for the champions. 5:47 to go here in the fourth. 43-39, champions lead. Rivers gets it left side to Ferguson, who's back into the game. They'll swing it around the perimeter to Ali Josias. Now they go to the right block to Sisic. Every single play is going through the big man now. Blocked from Scantlebury, and the foul's going to be called on the ground. They are in the bonus now. I think this is going to go against Lorenzo Aquino. So this will be 1-and-1 shooting now coming from the big man, who has taken 4 shots from the line today. He's made every single one of them. Quite 11 points from him. He's starting to get more comfortable playing there in the block, though. It looks like here in the fourth quarter and near the end of the third quarter. Foul was called there against Aquino, his first, Lane Tech's 8th. We've only seen 4 called against the Bulldogs this half, so still a ways to go until Lane Tech gets into the bonus. His first shot is good, and since it's a 1-and-1, he will get the second. Can cut it to a 2-point game. Labcon, Williams, Aquino, Solivo, and Scantlebury are 5 on the court. Jack George's going to check into the game, but now they're going to hold off on that for a second, as second shot is good. Turner checks into the game for Rivers. 5:31 to play here in the fourth. Anyone's ball game here in the second semifinal in the Lane Tech Regional. Winner gets Hinsdale Central, who's won 21 straight Friday night here at Lane. Labcon gives it to Scantlebury, fakes the handoff, thought about the three, instead's going to hand it off to Williams. Williams with some separation, pulls for three, can't get to go. Nice screen there from Scantlebury, but Williams can't capitalize. Now Gonzalez pulls for three, short, and Sisic somehow tipped that one in. Very lucky shot there, and we're all knotted up at 43, 5 minutes to play here in the fourth. Labcon pushes ahead, thought about the three, but Ferguson closes out on defense, takes it from front court right, loses the basketball, now picks up his dribble. They try to give it to Scantlebury. Sisic now going coast to coast and jams it in at 6'11". He makes that look so easy, and a 30-second timeout is going to be called by Lane Tech as the Bulldogs take back the lead here, 45-43. 17 points out of nowhere here from Stefan Sisic. Leading scorer on the game. He had a very quiet first half. I think he just had 2 points in the first quarter. He scored 6 here in the last minute or two. And he has the Bulldogs back in control of this one, 45-43, with straight fours, 4:44 to go in the fourth quarter. I mean, we say this every single time we see a player like that dunk. We saw Jaden Smith do it against Lane Tech, but just the ease it looks for a 6'11 guy to jump up and dunk the ball just makes it look so easy, especially for some of our shorter guys. Lane Tech, I mean, the tallest player comes in at 6'6", so when you see what the extra 5 inches can do, just absolutely crazy. It's not super fast, but he got down there in a hurry, saw the open lane and jammed it in. Lane Tech will talk things over, and now it'll be their possession, trying to tie this one up, possibly take the lead with a three. It'll be Solivo bring the ball up the court. They put no one in the backcourt to press. Half-court defense here from the Bulldogs. Solivo brings it up. He's being guarded by Turner. Gets a screen to his left. Nice screen from Scantlebury. Takes it himself. Can't finish with the left-handed layup, though. Ali Josias almost with a double dribble there. Gonzalez thought about the NBA three on the left side, misses it, hands it off to Ferguson. Ferguson inside to Citrus, left block. Turner can't get two hands on it, pushes it away, and gives it right to Williams. Williams in transition, spin move, and finishes. What a move there from the junior to knot it back up at 45. Parker Williams missed 4 games, returned last week for the regular season finale, and now has 10 in his state playoff debut. Ferguson gets it to Ali Josias, top the key, and a travel's called. Lane Tech will get it back. 3:58, halfway through the fourth quarter. Thanks for joining us. Alex Burstein on the call here from the Lane Tech IHSA 4A regional semifinal. Winner gets Hinsdale Central here. Scantlebury gives it to Jack Soar. Lane Tech slowing down their offense. Jack Soar to the basket. He has 1, make it 2, and 1. Blocking foul called against Ferguson. That's his 3rd, and Jack Soar with a monster 2 there. Jack Soar, who has not been a scorer this year for the champions, comes into tonight averaging just 1.7. He had a big 2 in the first half, and just such a confident take. Our apologies, that's the 4th foul on Ferguson, so he's 1 away from fouling out. Jack Soar at the free throw line converts it back up to a 3-point lead from the champions. So Lane Tech responds to a deficit by scoring 5 of their own, back up to a 3-point lead, 48-45, 3:40 to go here in the 4th. Gonzalez gives it right side to Ferguson. They're going to keep him into the game for now. Long 2 missed from Gonzalez. Jack Soar brings down the rebound, 3.5 to play. And this is where Lane Tech might want to take some time off the clock. If they can take 30, 40 seconds off and finish with a 2, that's going to be lethal here. Salibo takes it from the right side, pulls for 3, big shot, can't get it to go. Ali Josias brings down the rebound. He's going to take it himself, sees a lane up the middle, pushes it out to Gonzalez. Gonzalez has kept on shooting that 3 even when it has not been falling. Ali Josias from the corner can't get it. Citrus with the rebound. Scantlebury trying to guard him, and a foul's going to be called. Pushing foul on Scantlebury, his 4th of the game now. We'll see if they keep him in or not. And Stefan Citrus will head to the line. The Mac Irvin AAU player plays very competitive basketball all season long. Has 17 points tonight. He's flirting with another 20-point game, and I assume he's already has his 10 rebounds. So flirting with a double-double here tonight in the state playoffs. His first shot is up and misses. So he had 2, 1. I think he had 5 free throws before this, made all of them. Misses on the 6, keeps it at a 3-point game. And Lane Tech will have at least a bucket's lead here, even if he makes this second one. Jack Soar guarding Ali Josias here in the backcourt. Second shot is up and drains that one. 48-46, 3:02 to go. Williams inbounds it to Salibo. Tight defense here from Turner. Scantlebury backs off. They're going to let Salibo take it himself. Now driving left-hand side. Salibo punches it out, but straight into the hands of Gonzalez. A 2-pointer ties it. 3 takes the lead for the Bulldogs. Gonzalez wants it himself. Dribbles out now in the corner. Ferguson. Sisic on the right block. Hand off to Ferguson, who tries the crazy reverse layup. Can't get it to go. But some nice ball movement there from the Bulldogs. 2.5 to play in the 4th. Jack Soar gets it to Scantlebury, top the key. Paul Scantlebury with 7 points tonight. Hasn't been a big scoring night for him, but he's been so important, drawing Stefan Sistrich out to the perimeter all night long on offense. Salibo, top the key, had some separation for 3, can't bring it down. Williams tried for it, and they say he pushes it out of bounds with 2:09 to go here in the 4th. So the shots starting to not fall for both of these squads. 129 seconds separate Lane Tech from a possible upset win here tonight. Ferguson almost has it poked away from Salibo. Now they'll give it to Turner, who hands it off to Gonzalez. Labcon gets screened to his left. Gonzalez takes him to his right, can't finish the layup. Now Ferguson in the corner for the lead. That one off the mark, so Lebo's off to the races. One-on-one with Ali Josias. He gets stripped of it, but they're going to call a foul. Shooting foul there. Also to note, that is team foul number 6 now on the Bulldogs. And the next time Lane Tech gets fouled, they'll be shooting. This time he's going to be shooting anyways, though. Big two free throws coming up here from Shahid Salibo. Should he make both of them, it is a 2-possession game once again. Quick word for Williams and Labcon with the coaching staff as Salibo hits the front end. I imagine we might not see either team substitute. Oh, just as I say that, they substitute Turner out and they put Dockendorf in. As you mentioned, he's a three-point specialist for this squad. And if he makes this, Salibo makes this Riverside-Brookfield team very well may need some threes. Second shot is good. 50-46, 1:41 to go, 101 seconds. As Ali Josias brings it across mid-court. Light man-to-man defense from Lane Tech. They don't want to foul. Sisic does some spin move. Nice footwork there around Jack Soar and gets the hook shot to go. Timeout called by head coach Mike Reingruber of this Riverside-Brookfield squad. 20 points now on the night for Stefan Sisic. He has 20 of 48. Some quick math, basically about 40% of the scoring here tonight for the Bulldogs. They still trail by 2, though, 50-48 with 1:26 to go here in the fourth. If Lane Tech finds a way to score more than a point here, that would be very big. A 2-possession lead with the last couple of minutes to go. The last couple of seconds, I guess you could say. 1:26 to go, 86 seconds exactly. No one leaving the gymnasium here. Not a super packed student section tonight for Lane Tech. It was a late tip-off, 7:30. All right, so I can tell you if Lane Tech makes it to a regional final, it's going to be a pretty packed gymnasium, even with the late 7 p.m. tip-off time for Friday night. Last time Lane Tech hosted a regional, we saw them win in the first round against Oak Park River Forest. That was an OPRF team that was missing their top player, whose name escapes me right now, but he went on to play Division I, I want to say at Michigan. They were without him in the first round. Lane Tech was able to take advantage, win the regional semifinal, and then a big loss to Simeon in the second in the regional final. Of course, Simeon now has moved down to 3A. As Jack Soar gets ready to inbound it, length of the court to go for the champions. Full court press with 3 guys for the Bulldogs, but they're slowly going to back off as Salibo gets the basketball. Salibo has to hurry as the referee is counting quite quickly there for 8 seconds, but they get it up quickly enough. Salibo being guarded by Turner, who's back into the game for his defense. Jack Soar to Williams, right side. They're going to double team him, and a travels called on Parker Williams. And the Bulldogs will get it back, and Turner's going to check right out of the game for Dockendorf. So they have Turner in for defense, Dockendorf in for shooting. A 2 ties it up, a 3 gives the Bulldogs the lead. 67 seconds to play here in the fourth. Ali Josias gets it to Gonzalez. Gonzalez has not had a lot of luck here scoring, just 4 points in the second half. Right side, Dockendorf. PA announcer announces 1 minute to go in the game. They swing it. Gonzalez for a big 3, contested from Salibo. Scantlebury can't grab the rebound. Williams, they say he stepped out of bounds. And possession will stay with the Bulldogs. Almost a game-saving play there from Parker Williams. But instead, the Bulldogs will have a chance to reset their offense. Both teams in the Lane Tech, not technically in the bonus, but 6 fouls next time they get fouled. They'll be heading to the line. Next time the Bulldogs get fouled, they'll be in double bonus. So it's very well could come down to free throws if one of these teams decides to start fouling. Inbound it, Ali Josias on the left wing. Swings it to Gonzalez. 35 seconds left. Get a screen to his left from Citrus. Gonzalez to the basket for the tie. Gets it to go. 50-50, 26 seconds left. Head coach Nicholas Legal was not calling a timeout, and this could be it. This could be for the game. And now they are going to call timeout. So 19 seconds on the clock. Lane Tech calls their 4th timeout of 5 allotted, but I imagine we're not going to see another one called here in the final 19 seconds of this game. Of regulation, I guess we should start saying. If Lane Tech hits a shot here late, that could be the game. If not, we could be heading to overtime here in the IHSA State Series. Nothing more exciting than playoff basketball. The only thing maybe more exciting, overtime playoff basketball. But if you're Lane Tech right now, you're hoping you can get it done in this play. if you're Riverside-Brookfield right now, you're hoping you can force a turnover and score before regulation is over. These teams only have less than 48 hours now. You have about 46 hours to go until the regional finals set to tip off, and they can give their players as much rest as possible. That is what they're going to want to do. The two student sections getting into it. It'll be Scantlebury, Jack Soar, Shahid Salibo, Parker Williams, Jackson Labcon, your 5 on the court. For the champions, they'll be Ali Josias, Ferguson, Turner, Gonzalez, and Sisic, your 5 on the court for the Bulldogs. Labcon's going to inbound it from the near baseline, just a couple of feet left. Oh, now there's going to be a timeout called by Riverside-Brookfield. So head coach Mike Reinberger did not like the defensive layout that he saw from his team, or did not like the offensive layout he saw from Lane Tech's team, and as a result, they're going to redo things here. So there will be another timeout called. 2 timeouts left for the Bulldogs, 1 left for the champions. 50-50 your score, both teams in the bonus. 16 points tonight for Shahid Salibo, 10 from Parker Williams, 12 from Jackson Labcon. On the other side of things, 3 double-digit scores as well. 20 from Stefan Sisic to lead all scores, 11 from both Ali Josias and Gonzalez. It's going to be either a very long or a very short 19 seconds, depending which side of the ball you are on. Labcon will inbound it to the left of midcourt. It's a couple dozen feet separating him and the basket. Inbound it to Scantlebury to hand it back off to Labcon. Conventional wisdom says it'll be Salibo taking the shot. They give it to Salibo near the right baseline, drives the basket, goes up for 2, can't get it to go. Jack Soar pitches it to Scantlebury. He goes up for 2, 7 seconds, misses it, ball on the ground. Scantlebury can't come up with it, and Williams dribbled it out of bounds with 1.4 seconds left. Riverside-Brookfield is going to have 1.4 seconds to get a shot off. They're going to call timeout here, I assume. And they will. So Lane Tech have a couple of chances there to take the lead. None of them are able to fall. And I think the most likely scenario here is we're going to see the overtime, but you never know. It's the playoffs, and with 1.4 seconds left, the Riverside-Brookfield Bulldogs will have a chance to pull off a miracle here. They're 4 seeds higher. They were hoping to have a comfortable victory here tonight, but Lane Tech has given them all they can handle. I don't think we're going to see, oh no, we are going to see a sub into the game. It's going to be Rex Dockendorf come into the game. He's a 3-point shooter. The fact that he's coming in makes me wonder if they're going to be giving him the basketball here. So it's going to be Ferguson, Ali Josias, Gonzalez, Dockendorf, and Sisic for the Bulldogs. Scantlebury, Salibo, Labcon, Williams, and Jack Soar for the champions. Lane Tech giving it all they got here, but just a couple of inches off on their 3 shots there on that last possession. Ball just seemed to be scattering all around the floor. We did say it was going to be a short 19 seconds or a long 19 seconds. That felt like a very long 19 seconds. I guess 18 seconds, still a second on the clock. But that ball was on the ground for what seemed like an eternity as both the teams scrambled to get it. Ferguson's going to inbound it. Length of court to go. 2 players at midcourt for the Bulldogs. Almost a catch-and-shoot scenario. They give it to Sisic, who gets, Salibo punched it away. They want a foul. They're not going to give it. And that's going to bring us to the end of regulation. 50-50 your score. It's going to be 5 minutes to decide this one in overtime. Or who knows, we might need double overtime. We'll be back in just a second. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Lane Tech Boys Basketball here on the Lane Tech Athletics YouTube channel. 4 minutes on the clock. Apologies, not 5 minutes. I was thinking of, I think college rules is 5, but it's just going to be 4 minutes here in IHSA play as Lane Tech and Riverside-Brookfield head into overtime. 32 minutes, not enough to separate these two squads. They played very similar games. 3 double-digit scores for both of them. Ball is up. Citrus tips it to Gonzalez, and we are underway here in overtime. Gonzalez with 11 points, gives it left side here to Ferguson. He fakes the handoff, drives the basket, tried to go behind his back, but somehow gets it from the ground. He goes up, and a travel's going to be called. So Lane Tech holds on the first possession. Overtime usually goes very, very quick for these players, and 15 seconds already gone here. That's about a fourth of a quarter through this overtime period. Scantlebury gives it to Jack Soar on the left wing. Solibo fakes the 3, being guarded by Turner, takes it to the basket, and can't give Lane Tech the first lead of the overtime period. Citrus gives it to Gonzalez. He's trying to go coast to coast, puts up the layup, misses it. Scantlebury fighting for the rebound. Jump ball is going to be called. Possession arrow to the champions. 3:22 to play here. Scoreboard shows period number 5. Could call the 5th quarter here. No one has scored here yet in the overtime period. Lane Tech's last overtime game came a couple weeks ago against Northside. They ended up eking out that win 55 to 52. Did not check when the last Riverside-Brookfield overtime game has been, as Jack Soar hands off to Williams on the far side. They give it back to Jack Soar. Inside Scantlebury might be trying to draw a foul here on the right block. They punch it out to Labcon. Labcon from 10 feet left side, can't get to go. Bringing down the rebound is Scantlebury, and he gets fouled. I think the fouls stay. If so, that's the 7th foul, and Scantlebury's going to be shooting here, and it will be. So 7th team foul here for the Bulldogs. We'll see who they call it against. They call it against Citrus. That's his 3rd. So he's 2 away from fouling out, but in overtime, usually it doesn't come as much of a factor. We did see Shahid Solibo foul out of a game in overtime earlier this year. I want to say against Prosser? Maybe it was the Farragut one. Lane Tech had a couple of overtime games this year. Scantlebury gets ready for the first shot, bends his knees, takes a couple of dribbles, and will make it. So he gives Lane Tech the first points here in overtime. Everyone, all the students at least, on their feet for this one. Lane Tech students with their fingers in the air, trying to give Scantlebury a little bit of extra good luck. Missed 2 free throws here today, but will not miss on these 2. 2 made free throws for Dalton Scantlebury. 52-52, 50 to go. Crowd gets loud here at Lane Gymnasium. Gonzalez being guarded by Solibo. Solibo checks for the screen. Instead, it's just a handoff pass to Ali Josias, who's being guarded by Jack Soar. He tries to go up the middle, step back, 2 from the free throw line, bounces around and in. Very nice shot there from the senior. And we're knotted back up at 52 apiece. 2.5 to go. Thanks for joining us. Alex Burstein on the call here from Lane Gymnasium. Winner gets Hinsdale Central on Friday. Shahid Solibo slows his dribble, being guarded by Turner. Has not entered the perimeter yet. Was looking for some separation for a 3. Instead throws it into the hands of Gonzalez. Pass was aimed for Williams. Gonzalez is going to push the pace. Does not have the numbers. Goes for a floater and hits it. What a shot there from Will Gonzalez. Gives Riverside-Brookfield their first lead in a while, and their first lead, most importantly, of this overtime. Under 2 minutes to play, 1:55 exactly on the clock. Jack Soar, quick pass to Labcon, almost picked off there from Ferguson, who's in the game with 4 fouls. Solibo for 3, can't get to go. Ferguson brings down the rebound, and a big possession here for the Riverside-Brookfield Bulldogs. 1:40 to go, 100 seconds on the clock, 2-point lead for Riverside-Brookfield. Gonzalez holds it on the tee of the logo. Now he rolls to his right, gets it to Turner. Turner takes a dribble, had a wide open 3 there, but decides not to take it. Bulldogs try to take as much time off the clock as possible. They have the lead, no shot clock here in IHSA yet. Gonzalez for another jumper, and he hits it. 4 points in overtime from Gonzalez after just 11 in regulation. He's up to 15, and the lead is up to 4, 56-52. This might be the largest lead we've seen all half for the Bulldogs, they did not lead a lot there in the second half, but they are making the shots when it matters. 56-52 your score, 1:13 to go here in overtime. Lane Tech's now going to need to score and have a stop. We saw there in that last possession, Riverside-Brookfield very keen on taking some seconds off the clock with each possession, and if Lane Tech scores with less than a minute left, I can definitely imagine a scenario where Lane Tech's having the foul, and the problem with that, it's going to be into the double bonus. They'll have 2 free throws, so that's where you really want to foul a player who's not a great free throw shooter. We've only seen Sisic, Gonzalez, and Ali Josias at the free throw line. We have not seen Turner there yet, and I don't believe we have seen Ferguson there yet either. Lane Tech basketball, length of the court to go, 73 seconds on the clock, 56-52 your score. We're going to call off a full court press. Jack Soar inbounds it to Jackson Labcon, who will bring it up the court. No subs for Lane Tech. Our starting 5 on the court. Labcon takes it right-hand side, tries to pull it for 2. He got pushed, though, and will head to the line. So only takes about 11 seconds off the clock. 1:03 to go here in the overtime period. There was a second one called against Ali Josias there. And Jackson Labcon can cut this back to a 1-possession game with 1 or possibly 2 free throws. 9:19 local time here in Roscoe Village. First shot is up and good. So that a 3-point game. 13 points for Jackson Labcon. He's had himself a nice night. Scanterbury's at 9 as second one gets a lucky bounce off the front of the rim and falls. 56-54. 63 seconds of game time. Gonzalez has a hole open right side of the court, but decides to slow down instead. Gets double teamed from Labcon and Salibo, and a timeout's going to be forced to call from Gonzalez. He saw 3 green jerseys coming towards him and is forced to burn the last timeout for the Bulldogs. Lane Tech will have 2, none for Riverside-Brookfield, excuse me, with 54.7 seconds to go here in the overtime period. I'm sure many of these players have dreamed of a game-winning shot in overtime, maybe in a state playoff game, in a big-time game. They have the chance to do that here tonight, possibly. Currently a 2-point lead for Riverside-Brookfield. It will be Bulldogs possession. Under 55 seconds to go here. 9 team fouls against Lane Tech. Next one sends double bonus for the Bulldogs. 18 fouls against Riverside-Brookfield. So they have 1 more with it just being regular bonus. 2 more sends Lane Tech to the line for 2 free throws. Saw Labcon hit those big free throws a couple of seconds ago. The second one, I cannot stress it enough. That one was inches away from bouncing off the rim the other way. It went off the front of the rim, went at least probably a foot into the air, and then bounced in through the net. It'll be Dockendorf into the game inbounding things, so they do choose to do a substitution. Gonzalez crossing midcourt, punched away from Salibo. They're going to give it to the junior, who goes for the layup and misses it, gets his own rebound. He gets fouled, and it's going to be free throws. Salibo almost really blew it there with the missed layup. Instead, though, it will be a couple of free throws to tie it. 44.6 seconds to go here in overtime. Salibo's been up and down free throw shooter here today. We'll see if he can make 2 when they matter most. Takes a 1 dribble, 2, 3, bends his knees, and misses the first one. He won't get a second. That was bonus, so missed opportunity there from Lane Tech. Just loses it out of bounds, though Lane Tech gets the basketball back. So airs on both the teams. Lane Tech can't convert to tie it, but they're going to get another chance at it because of the air here from the Bulldogs. That pass was a little too high even for 6'11" Stefan Sisic. And a 2 will tie it for the champions. A 3 will give them the lead here with 39.5 seconds left. This is the time timeless conundrum, whether you go and try to tie it up immediately or if you try for a final shot, don't allow the other team to get a possession. I imagine if you're Lane Tech right now, the current plan would be to try to go in and tie it. You don't want to risk missing a final shot and not having any time to make up for it. We'll see what they are drawing up. No substitutes once again into the game for the champions. They're going to put Turner back in for Dockendorf to get some extra defense on the court here for the Bulldogs. $10 points for Parker Williams, 14 for Jackson Labcon, 16 for Shahid Salivo, 9 from Dalton Scantlebury, and 5 from Jack Soar. Those are your 5 on the court right now for Lane Tech. Williams gets trapped up. This one tipped away. Gonzalez gets it. Not a clean inbound, and they said Williams fouled him. They foul one of the best shooters on the team, and as a result, it's going to be 2 free throws for him, as that is going to be double bonus. 4 foul called on Williams, so after the bad inbound pass, he's bailed out even more by getting fouled. Williams with 15 points, 4 of them in overtime. See if he can make this a multi-possession game. First shot is beautiful. 57-54. You know, you got to imagine, first practice of the year, they're probably shooting free throws. Now in the state series, it's all paying off as second shot is up and good. Back to a 2-possession game, 58-54. 38 seconds exactly on the clock. Lane Tech needs at least 2 scores. So Lebo quick to the basket, does not get fouled, but does get the score. And Lane Tech calls their final timeout here. So 58-56. That was very, very efficient use of time there from Shahid Salibo. Only used up 6.8 seconds of the clock. Riverside-Brookfield kind of just backed away. They didn't want to foul him. I feel like in that position, it's almost better to foul because there's a chance he misses the free throw. There's not a really good chance Shahid Salibo misses a uncontested layup. On that last possession, the layup he missed, there was at least a couple defenders coming towards him. This time he had a sea of Riverside-Brookfield defenders backing away. And that is what leads us to a 58-56 Bulldogs lead. 31.2 seconds left in the overtime period. 18 points now for Shahid Salibo. He's been on such a tear recently. 19 against Vaughn, 30 against Payton. That means in his last 3 games now combined, he's scored 67 points. You do not see that a lot in high school basketball. Averaging over 20 in this late span of the season. We'll see if he and this Lane Tech team has some late magic. First, they're going to need to get the ball back. Ali Josias will inbound it. Length of the court to go. They have Williams, Salibo, and Jack Tsor pressing. Dockendorf screens, and they get an open Gonzalez. Salibo slipped there. He gets up quickly. Gonzalez gets fouled by Jack Tsor, and again, these fouls are just killing Lane Tech. He just had one hand on him, and Gonzalez, who just had 2 free throws to make it a 2-possession game, now has another 2 free throws to make it a 2-possession game. A look at foul trouble. 4 on Jack Tsor, 4 on Parker Williams, 4 on Dalton Scantlebury now. So if any of those 3 foul, then they are out as Gonzalez misses the first one and keeps us a game, 58-56. So at worst, it'll be a 3-point game for the champions. Gonna sub Turner back into the game for Dockendorf. Some extra defense. Second shot is up and good. So 59-56, a 3-pointer ties it. 26 seconds to go. Or Lane Tech can try for the 2 and then hope they get the ball back. Labcon quick to the basket, goes up and gets a 2, and that is what they do. Interesting strategy there. They're going to take as much time as needed to inbound it. They have 5 seconds. Dockendorf gives it to Ali Josias. They double team him. Gonzalez gets in. He's forced to be fouled with 7.7 seconds left. And I believe that was Scantlebury. That's going to be his 5th. So that's going to be the night for Dalton Scantlebury. Hopefully for him, not this season. So Scantlebury is going to have to leave the game. Lorenzo Aquino is going to check in. Looks like there's almost a timeout. Not sure what's happening. Don't think they call it technical. No, I think this is just an impromptu timeout, or maybe Lane Tech had one more timeout. They did, so they're going to spend that here. Oh, no, it's because it was the foul out. I forgot. They did this at Kenwood, too. As long as the players stay on the court, they get a couple of seconds to talk things over with the coaching staff. So Aquino's going to check into the game. There's no timeouts for either team. Double bonus, but that 2 from Labcom looking really big right now, because even if Gonzalez makes both of these, it's still a one-possession game. Lane Tech could have a 3 to tie it. The concerning thing right now, Citrus is right there trying to grab a rebound if there's a miss, as Gonzalez makes the first one. Yeah, almost missed the second one on purpose. Oh, no, they're going to sub Citrus out, so I'm completely wrong. They're definitely not going to purposely miss here. So the big man comes out. Gonzalez with a second free throw to make it 61-58. Shot is up, and it rattles out. Jack Soar has it. Lane needs 2. They turn it over back to Gonzalez. That could be the season right there. Heartbreak for Lane Tech multiple times in this last minute. Turnovers have killed them. 4.5 seconds left. Gonzalez is going to have 2 free throws to ice this one. Jack Soar just fouled out as well, so Trevor Goodhart's going to have to come into the game. He makes his debut here in the last 4.5 seconds of this overtime period. This would be a heartbreaking finish to the season for Lane Tech. Winner of this one advances to the regional final on Friday night. Shahid Solibo, Jackson Labcon, Parker Williams, Lorenzo Aquino are in the paint. They have Goodhart all the way back in no man's land in the backcourt. I don't think you'd even have time for a pass for him, but it really won't matter if Gonzalez can hit both of these. Went 1 for 2 his last trip to the line, 2 for 2 the trip prior. First shot is up and misses. So Gonzalez, a couple of times here, just letting Lane Tech, giving them a little bit of hope. We'll see if it's false hope or not. They're going to put no one in the paint to rebound, so they're trusting he can make this second free throw. Shot is up and no good. Aquino can't get the rebound. It's Solibo. He gives it to Goodhart. Goodhart with 1 second, pulls for 3 and misses it. And that is the season for Lane Tech. 60-58 is your final. Riverside-Brookfield storms the court, and it is a heartbreaking 2-point loss for the champions in the regional semifinal. An incredible effort here from Lane Tech, but they fall just short to the 7th-seeded Riverside-Brookfield Bulldogs here on this Wednesday night. Champions will finish the season 14-14. Riverside-Brookfield 26-5 now. They'll advance to what should be a fun one Friday night against Hinsdale Central, but that's just going to wrap up about 4 years of coverage for us here for this Lane Tech boys basketball team. Tonight was fun. All 4 years very fun. To all who have listened tonight and this whole career here at Lane Tech, a big thanks. It's been my absolute pleasure to bring 4 years of Lane Tech hoops to the airwaves. This is a Lane Tech team next year that's going to be really, really good. They only graduate 2 starters. We have a young returning core of juniors and sophomores who next year are going to really hopefully take this team to new heights, but very tough end to the season here tonight. 60-58 is your final score here. Very impressive performances from across the board. Scantlebury, Solibo, Williams, Labcon, but Riverside-Brookfield, the trio, Gonzalez, Ali Josias, and Sisic, just too much to overcome. That's just about going to do our coverage here tonight from Lane Tech. For one final time here from Lane Gymnasium, your final score. It's the Riverside-Brookfield Bulldogs 60, Lane Tech Champions 58. My name's Alex Burstein. Good night.